They got his concurrence, only then they proceeded, and the minutes of the meeting says, incidentally, whenever the Congress was in ruling, they took this same stand not only in Katchatheevu, throughout our territory of India.
It was the 1976 that turned the tables around, right?
No, it is not so. And we lost not less than 100 fishermen's life, and not less than 2,000 or 3,000 boats, fishing boats, worth 1,000 crores.
Nowhere has anybody talked about that pact, and is somehow P. Chidambaram's statement of that 6 lakh Sri Lankans coming to India somehow tied to this? So that one other idea that's surfacing is that Watch Bank.
Now we have to come to a conclusion that yes, a mistake happened.
Literally, it was known. I mean, they could have done.
Killing a person is easy. Giving a life is not. Ram Mandir is a reality now, but it happened after 500 years.
What I initially thought BJP would help Ladakh for, they let it go.
Aggression is entirely different from giving up.
Hello and welcome to Chanakya English for our Pandey Politics. Welcome, sir. Tamil Nadu BJP President Annamalai ji has brought out a new can of worms. Well, not really new, because I think this has happened every election season, but now he's brought in a new twist to it. He has said that the Katchatheevu that was given away by Congress in 1974 did not just have Congress to be blamed for it, but also DMK. So can we probably for today get a brief start on the history of when all this started?
For that, the rest of Tamil Nadu audience should know what is Katchatheevu, where it is.
Yes.
Katchatheevu is a small piece of island which is in between Sri Lanka as well as India, yes, in Tamil Nadu, south, down south. So, traditionally, for not less than 1,000 years, we were having historical and literature records that our fishermen, Tamil and Indian fishermen, were fishing beyond Katchatheevu as well as Neduntheevu. Both two islands were there. So, and our Raja of Sethupathi, Ramnad, he was having documents showing his possession of that islands on their control.
Yes.
So till independence, we were not having any problem. Neduntheevu as well as Katchatheevu was with us, and we were fishing there, everything fine. And when both the countries got independence, and then they started problem. By early 60s, 1960s, Sri Lanka started claiming that this piece of land is ours. Only then they started claiming it. Till then, there was no dispute at all. It was with us. Obviously, it was with us. When Sri Lanka started claiming for their defense purposes, their military purpose, so then Prime Minister of Jawaharlal Nehru ji, he thought that of course what is there we can give it up, and he has written on that files that I am not interested in that piece of land. It's a no man land and nothing to do with that, and if at all Sri Lanka claims its territory, then we can give. I have no issues. That is what his idea was. Incidentally, whenever the Congress was in ruling, they took this same stand not only in Katchatheevu, throughout our territory of India. Whether it's Akshayachin, whether it's POK, whether it's Arunachal Pradesh areas or whatever and wherever it is, if somebody claims that this is my land, okay, what's the problem? We have sufficient land, you can take land. This is what their attitude. Once upon a time, they started saying that we have that the Jammu Kashmir, it's a no man land and it's fully of snow and nobody is going to live there. So what is the purpose? This being their mindset itself. Not only Jawaharlal Nehru ji as well as Indira Gandhi ji also. So that she carried the idea of her father, and when she was the Prime Minister, she signed the treaty. In 1974, India and Sri Lanka signed this, and it is in public domain. Everybody was aware that Katchatheevu was handed over to them. Then only on that 74 agreement, we put the border of maritime, maritime border. On that border, the Katchatheevu put on Sri Lankan end, and we also accept that that's not our property. So on that day happens. Even on that day, the column 6 of that agreement says, even though it is belong to Sri Lanka, the traditional fishing area of both sides, not only about India, the traditional fishing area of both sides, what it means, there was no maritime border between Sri Lanka and India. It's hardly 7 to 8 nautical miles, hardly, I think, if I'm not wrong.
12.
So it's so close. So obviously, both the fishermen were used to in both the territories. So it was not at all the Indian territory or Sri Lankan territory. Both were fishing. That is why they have mentioned that they have not mentioned that Indian fishermen can go there. It was not mentioned like that. It was mentioned both fishermen can use their traditional territory for fishing. That is what they are written. 74, we gave up the land. That was a first problem. On that, something to console ourselves that we were retaining the fishing rights, and it was informed in Parliament that we have given up. It was not brought to the notice of Parliament. It was just informed. Article 1 of our Constitution says the territory is related to our integrity. So you know government can, government is entirely different from a country. So government may come go, but no government can give a part of land of our country and take back something. You cannot make a joke. So, but Parliament was not taken into account, and it was just informed. At least in 74, it was informed. In 76, when emergency was in place, they made some amendment on that agreement. They removed the Article 6 that which was mentioning that both the fishermen can enjoy their fishing rights in both the territories. So that was removed. Then only in 76, silently, secretly, it was removed. Then we lost our rights 100%. Only after 76, the fishermen fight, and the gunshots and deaths and seizing the boats, all these things happened. Only after that. Till that, we were enjoying the rights. And the main thing was, it was told by then DMK Chief Minister Mr. Karunanidhi that it was a unanimous decision and a monopoly decision of the central government.
Yes. We
were not taken into account. It was a surprise for us that a territory belonged to the state of Tamil Nadu, the central government decided to give up, and we were not kept in loop. That is what his statement, and people thought there is a logic behind that. Because Mrs. Indira Gandhi was known for her decisions. She will do whatever she thinks, and she was a tallest leader, strongest leader. She need not to discuss with all those things. So people thought that, okay, this man, immediately within a year, emergency was there. So the first treaty happened on 74, 75 emergency, 76 the second amendment was made. So people thought that, yes, very obvious. By then, the DMK government was also dissolved. Incidentally, that was a coincidence, but not related to these things. So people thought blindly that, okay, he has a genuine point. He might not kept in the loop. But what is revealing now, the new one, what I said is everything was in public domain, nothing new. But people from North India might not be aware of. But what is new, in 74 itself, before the first treaty signed, Mr. Karunanidhi, then Chief Minister, was kept in loop, and he was elaborated by our external secretary and in detail, and they got his concurrence. Only then they proceeded, and the minutes of the meeting says initially he was hesitant. Then immediately on that meeting itself, they say that he said, okay, there will be a little bit of agitation and I will handle it. We will oppose it politically, and you handle it. We can. So there was an understanding between the central government and state government. You can call it Congress or DMK, and they gave the concurrence to the central government. Only after getting green signal from Mr. Karunanidhi, then Chief Minister, the thing was proceeded. This is the revealing thing.
But if the concurrence was in 1974, there is still nothing wrong, but it was the 1976 that turned the tables around, right?
No, it is not so. 1974, your own piece of land given to other. See, the title goes to somebody else. But what people can do, they can just satisfy themselves. Whatever the title may be, whoever owns the land, at least I have the access, so okay, nothing to lose. The fisherman, common man's idea will be there. Whose land is this? That is not their problem. Might be Sri Lanka's, might be, of course, whether we can fishing in the fish, there ends the matter. So, but as a country, we cannot take it the same way. As a fisherman, their problem is understandable. But as a country, you cannot give a piece of land to any other country without any concurrence of the parliament and not putting it, and you are classified the document, you have not opened the thing, why you have given, what was the purpose, what was the need, and there should be need, no? So, there was an emergency, there was a problem, there is a military issues and we have to give it, otherwise we will not be, you can donate your blood. Somebody can even give their kidney to others. Okay, good. What was the need? That should be need, no? Just that you have two kidneys, you cannot give it one to others. No, there should be need. There should be an emergency. What was the purpose? So, the 74 agreement itself is not acceptable. One. The second thing was, at least they were enjoying the fishing rights. That was also taken. And, which is very obvious, that has to happen at any point of time. When you own a title and a property, how you will give access to me? I can be a guest. I cannot claim any rights. And fishing was a right. Fishing was not a grant up by anybody. It was right. And we were doing that for thousand years. And when the title was changed to Sri Lanka, then they stopped. And we lost not less than 100 fishermen's life. And not less than 2,000 or 3,000 boats, fishing boats, worth 1,000 crores. So that's all started in 74 agreement.
Great. And so recently, former Union Minister P. Chidambaram has also made a statement that this was an exchange for 6 lakh Ilangai Tamilars, right? So for the Sri Lankan Tamils, for them to be able to come to India, we gave land. But around that, there is also a pact that happened in 1963 with Lal Bahadur Shastri, who was the PM then, and the PM of Sri Lanka, Sirima. So that pact actually said it was the exchange of people, right? I mean, I think 3 lakhs were going to stay in Sri Lanka, in the Ceylon, Sri Lanka, and I think about 5 lakh or 8 lakhs really in the time frame of 15 years were to be sent to India. But nowhere has anybody talked about that pact, and is somehow P. Chidambaram's statement of that 6 lakh Sri Lankans coming to India somehow tied to this?
I feel he is purposefully misinterpreting that things. 63 agreement between our Prime Minister and Sri Mava Bandaranaike. See, Indians, Tamils were shifted by British for work in tea estates.
Yes.
Okay, so they were traditional Indians migrated by British for their own purpose to work in tea estates. They were there for 100 years. When the Sri Lankan government got independence from British, they wanted to send that Indians, Tamils to India.
Correct.
So that was their own problem, because one person who started living there for 100 years, and it started on voting rights. They were helping their country. Indian Tamils were helping their country. They were part of their country. They were part of their growth. When it comes as voting rights, they were allowed as citizens, but they were denied voting rights. That was the first thing happened. They can be there, they can stay there, but they cannot vote. That was the stand took by the Sri Lankan government. Later it was also changed. That is where our Malayaha Tamilargal, the Tamils sitting in hill stations of Sri Lanka, those were originally Indians. The Tondaman, all those, the communal and Pudukkottai, Ramanathan, all this one. Traditionally they were Indians, but they settled there. Okay. An Indian getting a Sri Lankan, getting an American passport, so settling there for traditions. Then he will be called as American.
Yes.
That's it. That's what happened. He was there. We were there for 100 years, and they settled there. And of course, they were speaking Tamils. So there is one more Tamils there in north and east of Sri Lanka. They were traditionally Sri Lankans, but Tamil. These people were Indian Tamils settled in Sri Lanka. And one more Tamils are there who are north in east of Sri Lanka. They were traditionally Sri Lankans, but race they were Tamils. Okay, these two Tamils were there. When the Sri Lankan government wanted to send back these Tamils to India, whether you accept them or not, that was your own thing. And when you accepted them, then your expenditure increases.
Correct.
Then actually the Sri Lanka government should compensate you to get them back. You are getting back Sri Lankan 6 lakh Indian Tamils. They were our own brothers and sisters. We will get back them. But we were supporting you for hundreds and hundreds of years. You are sending back them after sucking all their efforts and energies and blood. You are sending them back. Then you compensate us. That is what should be the negotiation. And you are giving a piece of land to them, and you are getting back all your people, and you are. We know that a Nilagiri settlement is made for them. So only then it happened, and we spent huge money to for their rehabilitation. So if at all there was a negotiation from Sri Lankan government, you should negotiate for their piece of land. You give some piece of land to us, only then we can accommodate our people. That should be negotiation one. So that's it. See, if at all the Indian government was wise enough, they should get their own land. And even in the treaty, there was not even a single line mentioned about this. If at all that was the purpose, then Chief Minister, then Prime Minister might have written that in the agreement that we are getting, and it was not an exchange. Exchange means you are giving something and you are taking something, right? It was not an exchange of people. You are giving something else and you are getting something else, and for something no reason. It was not mentioned anywhere in the treaty itself, on the 74 agreement either, or in 76 agreement, that we are giving this piece of land for the purpose that we are taking back our Indians. As I told you earlier, even if you are taking back for that purpose, you should get land from them. You are giving land, and you are giving life, and you are spending money.
There is another angle to this where people are, again, this is a presumption, nowhere, like you said, it has not been written down anywhere to say this was the exchange. This is all people's ideas in there. So that one other idea that's surfacing is that Watch Bank, right? There's a Watch Bank which is very close to Kanyakumari, and I think it's an area of 10,000 square meters, which supposedly is very rich in variety of fishes. And it has also recently been marked as having a lot of oil, and I believe the Modi government is trying to rig oil from there as well. But nobody is really talking about this Watch Bank.
See, this is entirely different subject than the Katchatheevu issue.
But could it be that the Watch Bank was more, it was more prominent, it was a more piece of land, bigger piece of land? So it was, there was a rift between Sri Lanka and India for that Watch Bank. So is it possible that the Indira Gandhi, they did an exchange of that rather? That
was not mentioned anywhere. We don't have a history for that. Katchatheevu, see, we have lot of border issue with almost all the neighboring countries. Yes. Even a very good friend like Nepal is having some border dispute. They had said we are having this. So border dispute is entirely different. Even now there may be something through with Bangladesh and Pakistan and China. Obviously that will be there. But this is not a dispute. It was given up to Sri Lanka. That is where the case comes. Even the area which you are mentioning, that we can raise again, we can open it up again, that can go till life, no issues at all. Because there will be a dispute, whether it's yours or mine, we can claim, as China claims that some part of Arunachal Pradesh is their own, they can claim, we can claim, let us fight, let us see the end, we can challenge it. But that's a separate case. You may claim that as it is your own, I will claim that I will, let us show the documents, let us go to the world, let us do that separately. But when I voluntarily give up my own land, there is no dispute at all. Now the dispute is in between ourselves. It is not with Sri Lanka now. Now we have to come to a conclusion that yes, a mistake happened, a mistake done, injustice done. So now only then we have to rectify. When you don't have a clarity whether it is your piece of land or his piece of land, then you cannot go there. They will say that ask Congress. They agree that it is our own land. So now we have to be in a single page, everyone in India, that no, it is our land mistakenly given by.
But what can we do to retrieve the land really?
We are going to do that. A lot of options are there. We will do that. We are going to see in our own life. Katchatheevu will be part of India again. But it cannot happen in a single day.
But is it going to allude to a war really? Or?
Why should it? No, war will be the last option and might be the least option, and we may not try that. Because even with Sri Lanka and even with China and Pakistan, we never tried. They only initiated the previous wars. So we never initiated any war against China or Pakistan, even though they always disturbed us. So a friendly country like Sri Lanka, there is no need to initiate that. But just how it happened in Indira Gandhi time, in the same way it can happen in Modi time also.
And another thing is that Sri Lanka does have ties with China as well. And there is a perception also that the Katchatheevu Navy patrolling is sometimes handled by the Chinese too. So will Chinese input also?
Obviously there will be some disturbance through China and all. And obviously there will be a civil unrest in Sri Lanka also.
Correct.
That our previous government was able to get a piece of land and you are giving up our land. So that will be, certainly that's going to be a challenge. But Indian External Affairs Ministry has shown his excellence for long years. It was only the heads of the government who took some wrong decisions in some other time. But the External Affairs Ministry was always beautifully done and handling things very well. We were the only country I can claim that having a very good relationship with Ukraine as well as Russia. We have very good relationship with Palestine as well as Israel. We have very good relationship with Afghanistan, and we have very good relationship with Bangladesh. So we were maintaining and we are maintaining a beautiful relationship with our neighbors and other countries. And I am very much confident that Indian government External Affairs Ministry will do miracles in this case also.
So is what BJP really putting out there is that DMK has really played the double game here?
Yes.
So would they have
that is what the document shows. Okay. Now the documents were declassified. Previously that was classified. Only the then Prime Minister, then Chief Minister, one more Central Minister and External Affairs Secretary. Only these people were aware. Only 4 people were aware about the whole treaty. Not even opposition party leader of India, not even opposition party of leader of India not kept in loop. So it was almost a secret. Only when the deal was done, after that only it was informed to Parliament. So till then, of course for long years there was Congress government, so it was classified document. Means no common man cannot access that. Now it was declassified. Now it was given in an RTI raised by State President Mr. Annamalai, BJP Tamil Nadu. Then it is in public domain. Okay. Only now we were able to see and have proof. It is not a charge. It is not an allegation. It is no more an allegation. So previously also it was an allegation that Congress and DMK was collaborated hand and glove and they did it. But that was an allegation till yesterday. When these RTA documents open and revealed in public, then it's a open secret in public domain.
So ADMK has also supported this because their former CM Jayalalitha has also fought for this during her tenure. And so will their stand again build a bridge between BJP and ADMK?
That will not be the cause for, even though there is a understanding between BJP and ADMK in future, that will not be the cause. For that, they will have their own political reasons. I should be benefited by BJP's alliance and BJP should be benefited by ADMK alliance, though that will be purely political. There is no country's interest and all. So that will be only a fun or joke. For country's interest, we have joined together. That is a joke. Only on their own interest they join any party, not only ADMK or BJP. It's about anybody, Congress or Communist or anybody. They join hands only on their own political interest. That's a separate case. But who supported Katchatheevu? giving to Sri Lanka. Every other party other than Congress were in opposition position for this treatment. Even DMK was opposing it.
Yes.
Politically, right? On grounds. But secretly, they agreed. That is what the point is. Okay. So, not about Congress, not about BJP or ADMK or any other party. Every party in India opposed the process, opposed the project. That was not a novel one. That was not acceptable. That is what the stand of everyone.
But we cannot also throw away DMK's allegation that BJP in the last 10 years has not done anything about Katchatheevu, because literally it was known. I mean, they could have done.
Killing a person is easy. Giving a life is not. Giving up a land can happen in a single signature, but taking back cannot happen. Taking back it cannot happen in the same way. You have to negotiate for a long years. So now the government of India's stand is very, very clear that Katchatheevu is ours. We will take away, because all the political parties on the same page. But you cannot have it in an easy way. You say, okay, I killed that person. So what? You give life to him. So you cannot make a joke like that. You have made a great blunder by giving up the land, and getting back is not going to be easy. And of course, they were also enjoying this same for 50 years. So they will claim that it is our own place, and for defense purpose, as well as the China and Pakistan will corrupt their mind. A lot of things are there. So you have to very, very carefully negotiate and take it back, and it will happen with this. Of course, see, Ram Mandir is a reality now, but it happened after 500 years. It was the story goes behind 500 years. So, you got the government here, you are here from 2014, why you are not building Ram Temple? You cannot build it right way. Demolition of Babri Masjid can happen a single day. But building of Ram Mandir cannot happen a single day. You have to take everybody on board, you have to get the judiciary's approval, you have to get the commonwealth's approval. With smoothness and harmony, it has to happen. Okay. So, giving up land and getting it back is not the same case.
Okay. One more issue, I think, so the other blame that is going around is that we've already lost areas in Ladakh to China, and that was in the last 10 years. And Wangchuk Sonam, who was a very staunch BJP supporter, recently also did a saltwater fast for 21 days, saying that what I initially thought BJP would help Ladakh for, they let it go. So Ladakh is also being lost, right? I mean, that is also on...
Ladakh is not lost.
Not part of it.
Some part, the Chinese claim that it's their own.
Correct, the LAC.
As I already told, places near, areas near Arunachal Pradesh, Jammu and Kashmir, both the Chinese as well as Pakistan countries, they are claiming it. Now, the POK is not with us. Even though we call it Pakistan occupied Kashmir, it is with them. They are conducting elections, yes. They are winning, so it is already there. Correct. So, only we are claiming it's our own. But all this Ladakh and Arunachal Pradesh and Leh and the Jammu Kashmir borders and all these Baramulla and all these areas, there is a dispute. That is what I want to make a difference between the Katchatheevu as well as these areas. Of course, they claim that it's their own, and we always retain that it is our own. Sometimes they will try aggressions, and sometimes they will try to infiltrate, and we used to stop. That is what happened in Galwan and all. So that is happening. That is an ongoing process. We have not lost, as far as I know. We have not lost anything as a ground. But of course, people are saying that no, they have come, they have aggression. Aggression is entirely different from giving up.
Okay.
Aggression is there. China is disturbing. Pakistan is claiming. That's all fact which no one can deny. But whether we have accepted it or not, that's a separate case. Even few days before, the China renamed some areas of Arunachal Pradesh. That they were claiming that these are all our areas, so we are renaming it in our map. You can rename it in your name. You can rename me on your in your mobile. In your mobile, you can store my name in a different way. It is not going to change my name.
Correct.
That's what. So they have changed on their own map, their own books. Even for that, we have raised strong condemn, and we have condemned them in the strongest way. That's a separate case. But the dispute is on. We are fighting. They are claiming it's gone. But in Katchatheevu, there is no fight at all. That is what the issue is.
Okay. Thank you so much for your time, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching Chanakya English. Stay tuned for more such discussions.